What is up, the Bomb Squad? This is Don the Bomb, returning once again. I know y'all been waiting for another action figure review. So today, I received the latest installment of the epic, new, big rubber guys from Major Bendies. Our friends Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, Smart Mark Sterling, Kanik. Oh man, this line is a dream come true for LJN WWF wrestling figure collectors like myself. That was my first wrestling figure line that I collected back in the day, and they hold very true to my heart, and I have them all still to this day. Some of them are beat up pretty good, but these things were made to take a beating. So what I have here is the latest series, and I have NWA legend Magnum TA. Comes from that 1985-86 time frame, which was consistent with the WWF original LJNs. I have Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who had an original LJN. I'll get into that later. And then the Hacksaw Jim Duggan face painted variant, which I believe is from a match, I think around 1990 or so, where he painted his face up and teamed up with Demolition. I think that's kind of what it was, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember who their opponents were at the time, but I'm sure it was an epic contest of mammoth proportions. But, alright, so as we know here, I believe it's about every 2 months that the big rubber guys, the new series, are up for pre-order, and they usually take about a month to take pre-orders, and then you usually get them about 6 months later, which is a lot faster than a lot of these other figure companies are that make these basically kind of to order, but not really. But they come out really fast compared to these other lines that you have to wait for a year or more. So hey, I'm here for it. No need for people sitting on your money any longer than they have to. So this particular one here, the variant, I am not going to open it and unbox it, review it, and all that. I guess I can review it. Looks pretty cool. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Seriously. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him yet, but I'm going to keep him in the box. Even though you know that the big rubber guys, Major Bendies guys, they make the box and the carting just so much easier to take out. And, you know, if you want to look at it, display it, and then you don't want to display it anymore, you can put it easily right back in the clamshell plastic prison. But I'm going to keep them in here for now. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but... And there are all the other big rubber guys that are well, actually not available, but that have been produced already. And I notice, as these lines have been coming out, you're able to find them more on sites like Big Bad Toy Store and Ringside Collectibles. They usually will get them maybe a couple weeks after, you know, the people that pre-order them get them. So if you missed out, you still may be able to get them. You don't have to pay those high prices on eBay and whatever else if you want to get them. So here's all the ones they came out with already that I believe I have almost all of them except for Brian and Matt. So I try to keep it in the same timeline as the original LJNs. You know, they had... besides those two guys, they had Ethan Page, the Hardy Boys. They look cool and everything, but I just decided not to get them. I'm just going to try to stick in the original WWF LJN era. So let's put Hacksaw variant, and as you can see, it comes with the painted 2x4 as well. There we go right there. And then let's get into it. We'll go start with Hacksaw himself. There he is. And as I said before, it is just so easy to take this off and display it as you choose. You can choose your own display adventure. Put that off to the side. Here he is in his plastic prison, as my boy Kyle Peterson does say so. If you guys are interested in more wrestling figure reviews and just action figure reviews in general, go visit Kyle Peterson. Let's get him out of here without trying to damage the box too much. Alright, first we'll start with the accessory. a yellow 2x4, which fits nicely in Hacksaw's hand and on his shoulder like so. And he has the ho thumbs up as usual per Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Alright, you can clobber someone over the head with the 2x4 like he did back in the day. As you can see here, there's his head sculpt, which is pretty good, He has the classic Hacksaw Jim Duggan trunks that he wore, you know, from around, 1988 until, into the early mid-90s. And then the knee pads that have the white underneath. Those are pretty good. Blue boots with the white laces, and as you can see, there you go. Big rubber guys, all that other jibber jabber right there. This is a cool Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I will give him, if I'm rating him, an 8.5 out of 10. Big rubber guys, like I said, I just can't express enough how an LJN collector fan is myself. This line, even though my wallet doesn't like the $100 to $150 every other month, I can still kind of swing it. Now, if this was an every month endeavor, then my bank account would be really going down the tubes. You know, $50 per figure isn't bad for what you get, but it still all adds up over time. So there's Hacksaw, and here is his original LJN, where he had the black trunks. I believe that's where he, around 87 or whenever, when he came in, I believe he wore this getup before he transitioned to the blue. But you know, he had the 2x4 back in these days, and he held it in his hand there, and he had, oh my goodness, he had kind of the thumbs up, but it looks like my thumb has been bitten off. I don't remember doing that, but kids do crazy things, don't they? So yeah, this was the original. Still pretty good original. This is definitely an improvement, and that's one cool thing about Big Rubber guys. Not only are they filling the gaps and the holes in our LJN collection from wrestlers that were missed back in those days, but they're also making better versions of the figures that we did actually get from LJN, and this is one of them right here. Man. And then soon I'll be getting the Powers of Pain and Dusty Rhodes. Then after that, the Legion of Doom. Oh, this is just great. If I'm not mistaken, next month they will be doing a pre-order for, I think the next series is going to be Bad News Brown, who was supposed to have an original LJN, but they never made one. They lost the license to Hasbro before that could happen. He's actually on the back of the box of the previous series LJN, so they were going to make Bad News Brown. And I believe the Rock and Roll Express, they should be in there with Bad News Brown. Then I think after that's Medusa with the Brainbusters, Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard, and Art Anderson. Oh my gosh, I might have to get all these. $50 a pop. My wallet, it's not going to like it. So, all right, let's move this out of the way and get to Magnum TA. Poor Magnum TA. They were slating him to be the NWA version of Hulk Hogan, but as a lot of you guys do know, he suffered multiple injuries in a very, very bad car accident, and I believe it was 87-ish, and that basically ended his in-ring career. So there he is right there. Magnum TA looking like Tom Selleck, a young Tom Selleck. And as my friend pointed out today at work, he kind of looks like, I don't know anybody that watches current AEW product, but he looks like one of that jobber 80s throwback tag team, the Outrunners. Turbo Floyd and some other guy, whatever the heck their names are. But I guess his face, looks a lot like one of those guys. Well, be it as it may. So there he is with his black leather vest, red trunks, cowboy boots in red and white, and his knee pads. And these are really, really good figures. And like I said, Big Rubber guys at Major Bendies, these Big Rubber guys keep getting better and better and better. And they fit right in with the LJNs. They don't make them look too realistic, but enough to where you know who these guys are. If they look too realistic, then it would be hard to kind of mix and match with the LJNs. So I'm going to have to give this one's probably a good 8 out of 10 too. Man, oh man, this is just hitting the nostalgia feels for me. True to my heart, LJNs, that's going to be a love of mine, and this Big Rubber guys just adds to that love. And who knows where this line could go. I am very excited to see what other talent they could add to the roster, and we can put it in our collections. I don't even know if I have enough room. I'm going to have to get another bookshelf. Hey, it is what it is. Hopefully I can afford it. We'll see what it's all about. So, like I like to say in every one of my videos, remember, all that glitter isn't gold. This is Don the Bomb, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Magnum TA. Until the next one, we out of here. Ho! Tough guy.